Okay, great. So, good evening, one and all. My name is Neha Tiwari, and today we'll be speaking about self-management during pandemic. We will be talking about the growth from survival mindset to a thrival mindset. We will also be discussing growth strategies, some tips and tricks that will help us grow and evolve during the pandemic. Okay, so while Bali sir has been kind enough to introduce me, here is a little more about me. Just give me 1 minute. So I am a NABET and SQA accredited trainer by profession, a certified NLP practitioner, and a happiness coach by passion, and I'm a learner by choice. Um, I have over 10 years of corporate experience in consulting and banking. I am also a immature astrologer, a home baker, a Reiki healer, a youth mentor, and the founder of Your Success Story. Out of all the things that I am and out of all the things that I do, what I love doing the most and what I do the best is happiness coaching and personal development. And I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Bali sir and CircleX for giving me this opportunity wherein I can share my thoughts around things that matter the most to me, which is personal improvement. And without further ado, let's dive right into the session for today. Let's begin the session by asking a very, very simple question. How many of us have experienced pandemic before? None of us, absolutely none of us, right? None of us have had a first-hand experience with pandemic before COVID-19 came along. And that is what makes dealing with COVID-19 or dealing with the pandemic situation at an individual level and at a socio-economic level very, very tricky affair. Okay. While the pandemic has been around for over a year, people still have apprehensions and anxiety when it comes to the future projections. People have anxiety in terms of their health and the health of their loved ones. People are anxious about their jobs, they are anxious about their businesses, they are anxious about traveling and meeting their friends and families during during the times of festivity. People are anxious about their college admissions. So there is a sense of despair that is an undercurrent in the social pulse today. Now, here is what the matter of fact is. Pandemic is here to stay until things turn around. अब जो है सो है. ऐसे में क्या किया जाए? Now, when you cannot change the situation, what is the next best thing to do? The next best thing to do is to change yourself and realign yourself to the situation, right? So that you can make best of the situation. How do you achieve that now? That is what you achieve by working on these 5 parameters. What are they? Being positive, being responsible, being healthy, being skillful, and being happy. Let's start looking at them in detail one by one. Okay. Let's start looking at being positive. Now, when I talk about being positive, what I mean is being not negative. I repeat myself. When I talk about being positive, it starts with being not negative. There is a slight subtle difference between both the phrases. When we talk about being positive, we are talking about inviting positive influence in our life. And when we talk about being not negative, we are simply talking about not just pushing negative influence from our life, but also creating checks and filters for negative influence in our life. Why is that so important? Now, here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Negativity is 4 to 7 times more potent than positivity. And when it is said out loud, as in when you have a conversation around negativity, it becomes 10 times more potent, which means when you engage in a negative conversation or when you express negativity, it becomes 40 to 70 times more potent than positivity. The reason for that is negativity has a quality of stickiness to it. It stays longer. Okay. It stays longer because it is like a Velcro. And positivity, on the other hand, is like a Teflon. It is light and it is fleeting. It comes and it goes. Case in point, I'm talking from a woman's point of view. I'm sure the ladies here will be able to relate to me. When you go to a party and when you are dressed looking like $1 million, when you go to a party and you're looking your best in your favorite outfit and your friend compliments you saying that that यार ड्रेस बहुत बढ़िया पहनी है, हेयर लुकिंग टू गुड, बट अगर वो वाला इयरिंग पहनती ना तो मजा आ जाता. Now when you come back home, what are you likely to remember more, the comment or the compliment? The comment, right? Because negativity has a power of staying with us much more. This is how we are. We are designed to capture negativity as a threat perception. Okay. Now, that is one reason why we need to be extremely mindful of what we consume as a content. What is it that we are speaking? What is it that we are hearing or listening? What is it that we are reading or watching? What are the conversations that we are engaging ourselves in? So, the first step to dealing with negativity and cultivating positivity is being not negative. Not necessarily being positive, but definitely being not negative. Okay. Now, I often get asked this very simple question that with so much of negativity around in terms of COVID overshadowing our everyday conversations, COVID news overshadowing our social media feed, our newspapers, our news channels for that matter, how can you even think about being positive and optimistic? Now, here is how it works. You change from negativity to positivity by changing your mental gears, one step at a time. And what helps you in achieving that is something which is called as a triple S approach. Okay. What is that triple S approach? Stop, spot, and swap technique. The moment you're feeling overwhelmed in a particular instance in a day, simply stop whatever you're doing. Shut your senses down, close your eyes, and take a couple of breaths. That is first step. Stop. Next, analyze the triggers in your mental environment and in your physical environment. Okay? Analyze वो क्या conversations हैं जिनके कारण आपको वो sudden urge of या sudden surge of overwhelm आया आपके पास. What are those conversations? Who are the people who are surrounding you? What is it that you're watching in the news? What is it that you're suddenly reading? Was that a particular WhatsApp message? Simply analyze that particular fact. Okay. After you analyze that particular fact, the next step is swap your mental condition and your physical environment. When I say swap, what I mean is flip it or simply change it. बैठे हैं, उठ जाइए, उठ के आप बालकनी में जाइए, वॉक करके वापस आ जाइए. ठीक है. अगर आप किसी के साथ कॉन्वर्सेशन में एंगेज्ड हैं, सिंपली एक्सक्यूज योरसेल्फ, गो टू द किचन, टेक अ ग्लास ऑफ ठंडा ठंडा पानी, कम बैक एंड चेंज द टॉपिक. If you're watching something on the TV, then simply flip the channel. Don't switch the TV off, because if you switch the TV off, that particular thought will stay with you because the negativity kind of sticks on. Remember? So simply flip the channel to something which is lighter, something which is more humorous, which is the opposite of the heaviness that you're feeling. Okay. So this is a triple S approach. It is a proven approach to instantly calm you down. All right. Now we've spoken about dealing with negativity. Let us speak about cultivating positivity. You cultivate positivity by a strategy which is called as CAP. CAP kya hai? CAP is an acronym for call a positive person. Okay. This is a fail-proof technique. It works 100% of the time. The moment you're feeling a certain sense of overwhelm, or even if you're not feeling a certain sense of overwhelm, simply आपने क्या करना है? फोन उठाना है, नंबर घुमाना है, बात करनी है, और 10 से 5 मिनट के बाद you will realize that you are feeling much lighter. You are feeling much better. And देखिए, at a stage in life and at an age in life where we are, हमारे फोन में 50 से 100 कॉन्टैक्ट्स तो डेफिनेटली होंगे, राइट? आपको सिर्फ ये करना है कि हफ्ते में 5 दिन एक इंसान को सिर्फ आपको कॉल करना है, टेलिंग दैट हाय, it's been a long time, I haven't had a chance to talk with you, I hope you're keeping well during this pandemic, if there is any help I can do, please let me know. आप देखेंगे कि इसका एक दुगना इफेक्ट होता है. आपको तो खुशी मिलती मिलती है, दूसरे बंदे को और खुशी मिलती है, और उसकी खुशी से आपको और भी खुशी मिलती है. तो योर खुशी डबल्स अप बाय दैट, एंड दैट इज हाउ यू ग्रो योर पॉजिटिविटी. आप देखेंगे कि 2 महीने के बाद आपको कॉल्स आने शुरू हो जाएंगे बिकॉज यू विल बिकम अ कैप फॉर समवन एल्स. ओके, so this is about dealing with negativity and cultivating positivity. Now moving on, Pandemic and these challenging times are great times to find excuses. ठीक है, अभी मूड नहीं है, रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, लॉकडाउन है, कल कर लेंगे, कल कौन सा पैंडेमिक खत्म होने वाला है, राइट? इट इज वेरी इजी फॉर अस टू गिव अप ऑन आवरसेल्व्स. It is very easy for us to not take action and give up on our responsibilities, give up on our life goals. Partly तो हमारे पास रेडीमेड एक्सक्यूजेस होते हैं, पार्टली हमारे पास एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग सेंस ऑफ ओवरवेल्म होता है, जो किस चीज का रिजल्ट होता है, जो ओवर थिंकिंग का रिजल्ट होता है. और ओवर थिंकिंग किस चीज की रिजल्ट होती है? ओवर थिंकिंग रिजल्ट होता है लैक ऑफ मेंटल क्लैरिटी का. तो आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर एन एक्सरसाइज विद यू राइट नाउ which is going to make you clear instantaneously and which will help you to decide your next steps in the day. Are you all ready for that?
Yes, yeah. We are ready.
Awesome, awesome. So let's dive right into it. The exercise is called as circle of influence. Now, when you're about to when there is an important action which is to be taken, but aapko kya ho raha hai? Thank you, Rajiv sir. आपको जो हो रहा है ये हो रहा है कि आप वो एक्शन ले नहीं पा रहे हैं बिकॉज आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही हैं. उस टाइम पे आप क्या करेंगे? यू विल सिंपली पोर आउट ऑल योर परेशानीज, ऑल योर थॉट्स ऑन अ पीस ऑफ पेपर. ओके, you will create what is called as a brain dump. All right, after you create a brain dump, you will take another A4 size paper. A4 size paper में आप बीच में एक लाइन ड्रॉ करेंगे. आपके पास अब A4 साइज पेपर में 2 कॉलम्स हो गए हैं. एक कॉलम में आप हेडिंग देंगे एरिया ऑफ कंट्रोल, दूसरे में आप हेडिंग देंगे एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न. ठीक है, अब आप जब अपनी लिस्ट देखेंगे ना, सपोज 20 चीजें आपने लिखी हैं, जब आप लिस्ट देखेंगे तो उसमें से 15 चीजें तो ऐसी होंगी, रफली 90% एज पर द रिसर्च, 90% चीजें ऐसी होंगी जिनके बारे में आप कुछ ना कुछ कर सकते हैं. Those are things which can be influenced. Those are the actions which can be taken up as, okay? There is a solution to those worries. And 10% of the problems, 5 odd points ऐसे होंगे जिनके बारे में आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Every problem has a solution. When it doesn't have a solution, it is a situation. It is not to be treated like a problem. It is a situation which has to be dealt with as and when it shows up in your life, okay? सिंपली उन 5 चीजों को आप एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न की हेडिंग में डालेंगे और बाकी चीजों को जिनके बारे में आप कुछ कर सकते हैं, जिनके बारे में आप कोई एक्शन ले सकते हैं, यू विल पुट देम एज एरिया ऑफ कंट्रोल. ठीक है, अब ये जो एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न है इसको आप भूल जाइए. इसको आप तब देखेंगे व्हेन इट एक्चुअली शोज अप इन योर लाइफ. एंड व्हाट यू विल रियलाइज इज समथिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. आपकी 90% जो वरीज है ना, वो ये एम्पलीफाइड 10% ऑफ एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न के कारण होती है. ये वाला जो पार्ट है इसकी वरी इतनी नहीं होती है जो एक्चुअल आपको जो डुएबल एक्शंस होते हैं, बिकॉज देयर इज अ सॉल्यूशन टू दैट. एक्चुअल वरी जो आपकी होती है वो इमेजिन्ड वरी होती है. अगर ये हो गया तो क्या करेंगे? ओके, सो दिस इज द वे टू गेट क्लैरिटी इंस्टेंटली. जैसे ही आपकी लिस्ट शुरू हो जाए, जो एरिया ऑफ कंट्रोल की लिस्ट है, यू विल पिक अप द टॉप 3 प्रायोरिटीज विच यू आर गोइंग टू वर्क फॉर द डे. रूल इज कि आप नेक्स्ट बैच ऑफ 3 तब तक नहीं लेंगे जब तक आप फर्स्ट बैच ऑफ 3 अपना कंप्लीट ना कर पाए. विद इन 5 मिनट्स या विद इन एंड ऑफ द डे आप उन 3 चीजों पे क्या काम कर सकते हैं, यू विल क्विकली स्टार्ट जॉटिंग इट डाउन एंड मेक योर टाइम प्लान एंड योर एक्शन प्लान इन अकॉर्डेंस. दिस इज हाउ यू विल गेट इनटू द एक्शन मोड. ओके, so that is how it basically works. That is how you develop, you cultivate a sense of responsibility by taking ownership, by taking action. Okay, and action tab aayegi jab aapke paas mental clarity aayegi, and this exercise will definitely help you to achieve that mental clarity. Okay, moving on. Thank God. Okay, now being healthy. Now come on, we are all grown-ups here. We are all above 18. We all know the rules for a healthy life. What are they? 8 glasses of water, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, well-balanced and timely meals, exercise 5 days a week for 20 minutes every day. These are what the rules are. Net, अगर आप ऐसा करोगे तो आपकी life set है, right? How many of us are actually able to abide by these rules? Let's be very honest here. Few of us for sure, but the rest of us are not able to abide by these rules. So there is a knowledge and action gap that we have, right? We all know what is to be done, but we all never get to do that. Let's try and understand why this gap exists and how can we plug this gap. All right. So when you step out of your house and when you move into your workplaces, who are you? What is your identity? You are an employee with a laser sharp focus. You know exactly what is to be done, how it is to be done, and by when it is to be done. Anything happening behind the scenes in your house is none of your concerns right now. It doesn't cross your mind. And the physical space in your office helps you and supports you in that laser sharp focus. Now, when you're working from home and when it is a house full, when your spouse is also working from home, when the children are also home, when the domestic help is also around you and seeking your advice from time to time, that laser sharp focus gets compromised, right? Because at this time, you are an employee, you are your own person, you are a mother and a spouse, you are a homemaker, you're also a crisis manager, for God's sake, right? So, are the only way to regain that focus is to start scheduling well-being, because until you block away time for well-being, that time for well-being will never come in a day. That priority will take a backseat and it will forever be buried into a backseat. The only way to regain that focus is to block the time away for that. आपको 1 घंटा अगर आप नहीं निकाल सकते, मत निकालिए, 30-30 मिनट के 2 बैचेस करिए. First 30 minutes would only be dedicated to physical exercise, and the other 30 minutes would be dedicated to mental sukoon. When I say mental sukoon, mental health, what I mean is any activity which rejuvenates you. Maybe it is having adrak ki chai in your balcony with your plants or with your spouse for that matter. Maybe it is cooking a hearty meal and having that hearty meal. Maybe it is listening to a Bhagavad Gita ka podcast, or maybe it is listening to a piece of music that you like. So divide your time, schedule your time, and block time away. That is the only way you will be able to regain your health focus and achieve your health goals. Next is routine. Now, routine and discipline is a major problem during the pandemic. जिस टाइम पे आप रात को सोते हैं, अगर आप पैंडेमिक के पहले रात को 10 बजे सोते थे और सुबह में 6 बजे उठते थे, बट पैंडेमिक के बाद अगर आप 12 बजे सोते हैं और सुबह में 8 बजे उठते हैं, मेंटेन दैट टाइम. Do not let that sleeping and waking up time deflect or be different. How will that help? That will help you maintain your circadian rhythm. Okay. That will help you maintain your meal times. That will help you maintain your sleep cycle. That will also help you maintain what is called as an energy signature. आपको पता रहेगा कि आपकी एनर्जी डे में किस टाइम पे हाई होती है और आप अपने प्रोडक्टिव टास्क उस टाइम पे शेड्यूल कर सकते हैं. So maintain a routine, be disciplined about it. And the first step to maintaining a routine is sticking to your bedtime, no matter what. All right. Neatness. Now, this is something big. Okay. Let me share an experiment with you, a very interesting experiment which happened in UCLA about a couple of years back. Okay. So there were these two groups of candidates who were given two different MCQs. MCQs माने मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है. तो उन दोनों को मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन दिए जिनकी न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू वाज एग्जैक्टली द सेम, बट जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव वैल्यू थी ना, वो डिफरेंट थी. किस तरीके से डिफरेंट थी? इस तरीके से डिफरेंट थी कि एक की जो डिस्क्रिप्शन था वो यंग लोगों का डिस्क्रिप्शन था. से सपोज एक बच्चा मिठाई की दुकान में गया, उसने 10 kg मिठाई खरीदी और 50 अपनी क्लास के बच्चों में वो मिठाई बेचती, बांटती. ठीक है. दूसरा जो डिस्क्रिप्शन था, दैट वाज फॉर द एल्डरली फोक्स. ओके. एक ग्रैंडफादर मिठाई की दुकान में गए, उन्होंने 10 kg मिठाई खरीदी और अपने 50 ग्रैंड बच्चों में वो मिठाई बांट दी. ठीक है. सो दीज वर न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू बिल्कुल सेम थी, descriptive value was different. Now, these two groups were observed very, very carefully. The group that was given the younger description wala MCQ, they were agile towards the elevator. And the description जिनको elderly folks वाला description मिला था, that was staggering towards the elevator. This goes on to prove that your आपकी जो आंखें देखती हैं, your visual inputs have a huge bearing on your mental state. Okay, so अगर आपका कमरा उठने के बाद neat and clean, orderly और clean and neat नहीं रहेगा, तो आपकी mental state भी वही चीज reflect करेगी. Your physical spaces are a reflection of your mental state and vice versa. So get into a routine of making your bed early in the morning as you get up. This is the way you will be able to achieve your mental and physical health goals. Okay. Moving on, being skillful. Now, you are in a positive state of mind. You are healthy. You are mentally sorted. Is this the right time to pick up a new skill? Absolutely. It is a perfect time to pick up a new skill. Why? Because when you're in a positive frame of mind, you are set to be in what is called as a resourceful state. People who have done NLP will be able to relate with me. You are set to be in a resourceful state. Now, in a resourceful state, your uptake is very high. Your ability to understand things, your ability to absorb things is extremely sharp. Okay. So this is a great time to pick up new skills along the way. Okay. Now, here is what you need to understand and bear in mind. Economy is not as buoyant as it was a couple of years back. The world is diving into a recession, and the only way to keep yourself afloat is by upskilling yourself constantly, right? And so therefore figure out कि आपकी इंडस्ट्री में, आपके वर्क सेक्टर में ऐसे कौन से स्किल्स हैं जो रेलेवेंट हैं और जो रिडंडेंट होने वाले हैं विद इन नेक्स्ट 18 to 24 months. Simply start applying your head and start learning those new skills. बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं which are free platforms which will help you with upskilling. There is government का स्वयं, there is Coursera, वो भी free courses कराते हैं. There is something called Harvard, जो है Harvard 50 courses from advanced to basic level absolutely free of cost offer कर रहा है. उनकी lecture series is open to public now. You can take advantage of this fact. Even if you're not working, if you are a stay-at-home parent, this is the right time to master your craft. You have been a dabbler all your life. This is the time to master your craft and start showing up in public places. Okay. What I mean by that is, अगर आप एक बहुत अच्छे cook हैं, तो simply start specializing in a cuisine and start putting your YouTube videos. अगर आप gardening में बहुत अच्छे हैं, create an herb garden and display a picture in relevant groups and start helping other people to build a garden. अगर आप बहुत अच्छे स्पीकर हैं या बहुत अच्छे राइटर हैं, तो अपने ब्लॉग्स या अपनी वर्चुअल एंगेजमेंट्स पे वर्क करना शुरू करिए. अगर आप से सपोज बहुत अच्छे सब्जेक्ट मैटर में आपकी मास्टरी है, अगर आप एक किसी पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट में बहुत अच्छी हैं, सपोज मैथ्स या साइंस या फिजिक्स, स्टार्ट विद योर ई ऑनलाइन क्लासेस. देखिए, इफ यू हैव द चाह विद इन यू, द वर्ल्ड इज योर ऑयस्टर. अगर एक कमी है तो सिर्फ एक संकल्प की कमी है. Right now, you cannot step out. The malls are closed. The restaurants are closed. The movie halls are closed. You cannot meet your friends every now and then. Time is at your disposal. और ये time शायद दोबारा इस lifetime में कभी नहीं आएगा, right? Make the best use of this time. The other reason why I'm asking you to add skills and hobbies to your life is because, you need to find out what you love and do more of that, is because your happiness depends upon your growth. So the formula for happiness is very, very simple. Progress equals happiness. When you grow in your life, when you grow in these 4 parameters, you will be able to grow in your happiness. If you stay stagnant, the happiness will stay stagnant with you. It will bury inside you. For you to grow your happiness, you need to grow in life. Okay. And when you're able to take action in these 4 or 5 parameters, you will be able to grow in your happiness. And that is how you will be able to move from a state of survival to a state of thrival. And with that, I come to the end of today's presentation. Thank you all so much for tuning in.